like some of those like Putnam was tough. Like I was younger, you know what I'm saying, and I had the energy to run around with them dudes. But we had some we had some kids that was really like that. And Daniel Woods, man, I still get emotional about that to this day because Putnam did Daniel Woods wrong, in my opinion, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Daniel had did some extra work for a teacher, right, in order to be eligible for football. And the teacher gave him the assignment. He did it. Teacher graded it. Said, all right, you good. And then one of the assistant principals who, really didn't favor him too much, nipped it in the bud, right? So Daniel was ineligible. And I didn't have a relationship with the administrator. I wasn't working at Putnam at the time, but I understood that Daniel he needed football, right? I had a lot of talks with Woods, and I used to, he used to sit in my car. He used to sit in the car for like 90 minutes in front of his house. And, obviously I'd be like, yo, listen, why don't you leave a lot of this stuff alone? And he used to tell me like, yo, I want to, but the people that I'm around, that I grew up with, like I love them dudes. They always there for me. And so if they call me for anything, I can't say no. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna fight every fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna take care of everything I can for him. But I do want to be. You know what I mean? Like I love football. Like I want. So anyway, long story short, now he's not with us. So he going home after school every day. Can't play football. Can't play sports. He not on my hip. You know what I mean? We not having these conversations. He not busy till 6:30, 7. And I get a call, and I want to say it was from Mookie's father. I think Moose, my man Moose, called me, and he told me like, yo, I think one of your players, and he was like, I think something happened. Check on him. And when I heard that, man, I was hurt, and it bothered me to this day because, again, that's a situation where we could have helped the kid. And a lot of times when you disconnected from the community and you disconnected from the youth, you think you doing something by taking football away from them, right? But you don't understand these dudes' life. You don't understand what they're going through, the decisions that they got to make, the why behind what they're doing. That kid was a good kid. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he was a good kid, man, and he deserved the opportunity because we do that for everybody. It's not like we do that just for athletes. When people got to graduate, right? They could be a regular student, but you got to graduate. We're going to let you make some work up. We're going to let you go to summer school. We're going to let you do whatever you got to do to get eligible, right? Or to graduate, excuse me. So why not give that kid the opportunity, and then when he did the work, why not let him play? You thought you was doing something about it. So in my eyes, we was to some degree responsible for that situation. You know what I'm saying? And it shit hurt me because when you saying like, yo, I'm in coaching to help kids like that, and then something like that happened. You know what I mean? Then you look at what happened with Caleb. Me and his uncle, was very tight, Suttles. Mm-hmm. And I know the family, you know what I mean? The whole family came to, they all came to Central, Little Pop, you know what I mean? Those just little cousins. Yeah. So Caleb is another dude, like, we close. One time I remember he was, running out and about. Uncle called me. We was all over the city looking for him, found him, talked to him. Long story short, I kind of felt what happened to him coming. If you know Caleb was good with his hands, right? And when you good with your hands to that degree, you know how the hood deal with that, right? A lot of dudes can't fight, right? And we know you can fight, but we not gonna keep letting you smack us around. So I'm a coward. You understand? I know I gotta deal with you a certain way. And I used to have that conversation like, listen, these dudes don't want no problems with you. You know what I mean? It was a kid. I was working at Sci Tech at the time, and the kid was like, had took a restraining order out on him. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be in the streets, but this is what you did. Okay, whatever the case, but when you see kids is fearing you like that, you gotta fall back because I'm telling you, this is what's coming, right? And so even with him, man, like that's another kid that was in my care, and that's what happened to him. And Caleb, I don't know how many. Caleb was a Division I athlete. Like he was like, I don't want to exaggerate. He was like 6'3", 210, ran like can run. He was flying up and down the field, real physical. Like he had everything. he was the closest thing on the football field I seen from as a natural athlete to Mike Vaz, right? Mike Vaz used to line up at safety, quarterback. Mike Vaz did whatever he wanted to in football, anything. And he did it the wrong way and still dominated. Like, he'd be at safety, no back pedal, no nothing. He just diagnosed the play. He'd be standing still, looking. Oh, that's what y'all running? Zzz, boom, and blow the whole play up, right? That's what Caleb was. He wasn't, his fundamentals wasn't right. He just had a natural instinct, and he was a crash dog. Like, he blew the whole play. Lost him, lost the twins. You know what I mean? Like, we at Putnam, like, just lost too many kids.
Talk about Daniel and
Darnell. You know what I mean? It was a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot of, like, loss of lives and a lot of, and I still think about those kids. You know what I mean? Like, I still think, like, I would love to see Daniel Woods right now. Like, what would he have become? Because people had him pegged, he troubled. Nah, he's just a young kid he was loyal to the people he grew up with, right? And that's no different than myself or any of us. So you can't say that a person like that not gonna make it, because he can make it. Because we grow up, we mature, we all, you know, life start happening. You know what I mean? We have kids. Now the kid become the priority. There's things that, you know what I'm saying, he just needed time, man, and he didn't get that time. And I remember having a conversation one time before the game. He was like, man, coach, ain't nobody tackling me today. I'm not going down. Nobody's getting me on the ground. Yo, why nobody the only way they got rid of this boy is by pulling him out of bounds, or they had to blow the whistle because everybody was holding him. Like, he would not go on, like, he was just came, but it was so funny the way he did it. In the weight room, he was a dog. Like, he throw 315, 350, 360 on the squat bar. Squat, get crazy low. Coach, this easy. Like, he be talking mess to me. Coach, this easy. This light work. What you talking about?
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was, and even the dudes he was with. You know what I'm saying? He used to hang with Cordell. Cordell coaches at SYF now. John Walters. He used to hang with Walters. You know what I'm saying? All them dudes played football, and they was all good dudes, but you know, they got in trouble every now and then. And like, even Cordell was like, he was a hell of a running back. You know what I'm saying? And he was a physical, and he had great size and speed. You know what I'm saying? And so those dudes I hold here there. But now you get to Central. That get tough too. You know what I mean?
A lot of D1 athletes, man.
Yeah, that Central gets tough.
I'll tell you my favorite one.
Central gets tough.
I knew you was gonna say that though.
Central gets tough.
We ain't even get to basketball yet.
This is crazy though. Y'all got me. We got a hell of a running back right now. He just committed to Notre Dame. Isaiah Rogers.
Shout out Isaiah Rogers. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Notre Dame.
Yes, sir.
We had, before him, we had a kid, Marcus Crawford, Tariq Thomas, who's at Fresno State. That's running backs. Quarterback, Pop, my son. Aaron Moses.
Shout out.
People don't know A-Mo. A-Mo was, I think he has a single season passing record at Central. You had Cody Williams.
Shout out to Cody.
Cody was
a dog.
Cody, so you're looking at them three at the QB spot. Then you go up front. Amari Owens is at Columbia starting right now. He might end up in the pros. You know what I mean? He got
the young boy at Syracuse too, don't you?
Terry Lockett.
Yeah,
He's playing professional out in Mexico right now.
Oh, okay.
And he might
Lockett.
switch out. Yeah, he might switch up and go to the USFL.
Okay.
But he's out there now. Jaden Bass, who was at Syracuse as well, transferred. He's at Rhode Island now. This kid Luna, who was a center there. Then you got receivers. We had Miles Bradley. Miles Bradley, the thing with Miles was probably the first kid from SYF to go to Central. He might have been one of the most important pieces in connecting everything that happened at Central together, because of how important he was and how good he was coming out of. Had all the prep schools on him. Could have went anywhere, but he stayed local, and he stayed local to build up the local school and the local brand so that everybody can go there. You know what I'm saying? So that was an important thing. But he's a Joe. Did I say Joe Griffin?
That's
Joe
my dog.
Griffin. And Joe Griffin nice in football and basketball.
Yeah, shout out Joe Griffin.
Joe Griff. I know I'm missing somebody at receiver, but Vari Daniels was a dog for us. And I know I'm missing guys, but Dwayne Early.
Give us 2 from defense.
Shout out.
Oh yeah, I 2. I give you a whole line. But, Josiah Griffin.
That's my
Josiah Griffin.
little dog right there. Word to mother.
Josiah Griffin was a beast.
Griffin
Bryce Warwick,
Yeah.
defensively on the D line. I know I'm going too fast, man. If I go to the DBs,
Well, I was just about to say that.
Tank. I know Tank with the Coastal Carolina. That's Juice's little nephew.
Shout out
He-
to Tank.
Cousin, shout
he-
out to
Coach Walker, too.
Tank might be is probably the best DB to come through Central, and his film will back that up. Like we ain't got, you know what I mean? We like that boy had probably like 8 interceptions for touchdowns. Never mind.
Did Damon Jones play for y'all?
He didn't play not while I was there.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if he played, but he didn't play while I was there. Who else? When I first got there, kid TJ was there. He was real good. DBs. Why am I missing them? I'm drawing blanks right now. Who else? Linebackers. Throw some names out. I'll tell you if y'all remember anybody. But that's it. That's probably what, like 12, 15 dudes?
Yeah, let's get them out. Who's your one thing that people don't really rank there? I would say, give me somebody that was a standout on special teams, Putnam and Central.
Rashawn Harris was very good punt returner.
Lil Cuz, shout out.
Special teams at Central.
Often
Usually
overlooked.
when we get good kids at Central that can return, they kick the ball out of bounds or they don't give it to them. Yeah, like that's what they do. You know what I mean? Like they don't even give. Like we was loaded this year that just passed. We had dogs everywhere back there. They just kick the ball out of bounds and take the penalty, or they kick it like an onside kick or something. Everybody they tried to kick it to returned it for a touchdown. I know for a fact there's people I'm forgetting. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to race and think real quick, but we Central been crazy. Like we had some, man. We had classes with 8, 10 kids going D1, the whole 18 to 20 kids going to college, and people think always the best player goes D1. Matthias Barber, that's another kid who 4 years was nice for us. That almost slipped my mind. He was nice for us for 4 years. Had a 1,000-yard receiving season. He got busy for us.
Jack Casey's son, doesn't he go to Georgia?
Jack Casey,
Jack
linebacker.
Casey. Shout out to Jack Casey.
Damn, you just
Both
opened
the
me up
Caseys,
now.
both the Caseys.
Both of them.
Oh, the young boy getting busy right now.
Yeah.
We had a kid, Isaiah Jones, who did. Oh shit, Kamari Latney. See, this is why I can't. Kamari Latney was probably one of the best defensive players since I've been there that I had the chance to watch. You know what I mean? Like he was destructive. He was physical. He was fast. He was everything you want. You know what I mean? His junior, senior year at Central, them last 2 years, was crazy. He was dominant.
So,
And I almost forgot him just now. And he might, you know what I mean? Like he got an argument being one of the best.
so down from the Griffin boys, Lil Casey, your son, everybody that you seen come through that Central black and gold uniform, how did you know them little dudes had it? What was the regimen that y'all went through at the end of the day?
We grabbed them kids from a young age. And this is why I tell you youth is so important, football or basketball, right? So those guys were when the plan was in full motion.
Shout out Springfield Tigers.
Yes,
Yeah,
shout out
we
Springfield
grabbed them
Tigers
dudes
community.
at 6, 7 years old, right? We had off-season workouts. They was working out with over in East Long Meadow, with Bayman and Greg and that whole group over there. in the off season from when 5th grade all the way through.
Shout out to Shout.
Right.
Shout out to Shout too.
They was learning the high school system, so as soon as they got to high school, they was ready to go football wise, as far as knowing they're not thinking a lot, and that's for football and basketball, and we controlled the level of competition, so we had them playing in all the best stuff, and what we was doing was we was trying to make kids figure out, are you a football or are you a basketball player? And the way we would do that is we put them in the best of the best in both. And I got a funny story with Terry Lockett and Tyson. They was both nice in basketball from a young age, right? So we playing, now we players for AAU. And we out in Maryland, and we were like 6 in the country at the time, right? And we played this team from Maryland. The team from Maryland was 4th. So there's a big game down there in the D. And you know how them dudes in the D. This is 8th grade.
Right.
They got about 3 dudes that's probably 6, 7 and better. But they ain't post guys. These dudes give it the whole day, hitting threes. So we come out, Tyson and Terry out there. We got our little squad. Long story short, they end up smoking us. But, the kid that was 6'7" caught the ball, hit a 3. About a minute and a half later, came down, hit another one. A couple minutes later, he catches a ball fakes, 1 dribble, 2 steps, cock back, bangs on everybody. Right? We get a timeout. Tyson and Terry come over to me. This is a true story. Hey, yo, coach, I'm going to finish AAU, but I think I'm going to stick with football. I said, good.
Told you. This
Good.
that team they was on. Lockett, your son,
That's
my
Miggs.
son.
That's
the Miggs.
That's
the
Miggs.
team.
Yep.
That's the Miggs team.
I just had seen a picture that come up on my
That's
head.
his first points ever playing
Yep.
basketball. My son, that came
Yep.
from your son passing him the ball.
Yeah.
So he played with Lockett and your son.
Yeah. And that is that's what we was looking for though. That truth. We don't want a lot of kids. We don't want kids thinking they something that they not. Oh, you think you that? Let's go out here. And you know what I mean? And the funny thing is, a lot of times, them dudes would answer the call, but what happened is they started seeing kids. 6th grade, they was tall, right? Lockett, I want to say like in 7th grade, he could dunk the ball. Now Lockett big dude. You know what I mean? 260. He could dunk with both hands. He looked crazy in basketball. He looked, you know what I mean? He looked dominant. Now 8th grade come, all of a sudden, these dudes ain't 6'5" no more, they 6'7" when we go play these national teams. We go to Vegas. These teams is legit. He looking like, damn.
It's crazy out there.
Dudes is passing me now. The guards is my height. When he go to these same situations in football, he's still a standout. But when he do this in basketball, he see himself fade. That's the information you need. We don't want to fool you. We ain't gonna tell you the man.
Right,
We,
you're not.
we want you, but I don't want to be the one that I'm not gonna put the water on your fire.
Yeah, you gotta show you. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you,
Yeah,
and then you and your parents gotta figure that out.
yeah, facts.
He figured it out quick, right in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I mean, like,
that's a good important point because some people and some parents never figure that out.
they don't. They delusional.
And sometimes that kills a kid's confidence because sometimes it's just not for them.
Well, you know what they
I mean?
do? They blame you.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah,
coach.
the coach.
Yeah,
The coach.
yeah.
The coach messing
Yeah,
up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's
You know what I
what
mean?
they do.
And you know when you get to a certain level of football or basketball, it's no longer about like everybody plays because everybody's on the team, and
Yes.
it gets to the people who need to play. So you know what I mean? Exactly. So it's like when you get to those ages and those age groups, parents they think it's like, oh, coach put my kid in the game where it's like this is, like you said, you don't want to be the one to say it. But this ain't for your kid. Why don't you try him in something different? Like, I mean, some parents.
I be saying it though. I be saying it. I be letting the, you know what I mean, letting the parent. Yeah.
Because I feel like that's constructive.
With your kid, that is why I think that's a big reason why he became who, you know what I mean, like the dog that he was.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, he was playing, like, I did the same thing with my son. My son went a whole year in a league. He couldn't even get his shot off. They were punching his, like, he was like 7, and he was playing like, you know, whatever, you know, 4th, 5th grade. And they was punching it. And then he'd be on the bench. And I'd be like, yo, you're gonna learn how to first be on a team from that perspective. Humble yourself,
Right.
and then we're gonna work.
Yeah.
Right? But I know he gonna ask me, because if your kid got any type of competitive spirit, he gonna be like, yo, what I gotta do to be like them? Why did everybody, but okay, we gonna get in this gym. You gotta get in the gym and you gotta work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he don't know I'm really setting him up though for him to get his shit whopped like that, so that he can come to me and say, yo, and I'm like, yo, you gotta work out, you gotta shoot, you gotta go, and that's the thing about a lot of the football. Everybody think when I first got into coaching basketball, everybody like, oh, he playing all the football kids. I got all the football kids off the basketball court. Them dudes was all basketball players. Hey, you know how we do. Everybody got hoop dreams. I don't care what you. I'm a football player. I used to want to be a basketball player. I played football. One, I used to like the physicality of it, but two, y'all wasn't as nice as some of my dudes when we played basketball. These dudes come out right from their apartment, come on the park, behind the back, fade away three. I'm like, damn, I'm not hitting that. I try the same moves as air ball. When I go to football, I'm a bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm gonna stick with the football. Y'all got ahead of it. But them dudes was all hoopers when I found them. That's why they went deep. You know what I mean? Terry Lockett, Tyson Thornton, Joe Golden, them dudes was basketball players. My son, you couldn't tell him he wasn't. You know, he still to this day be saying I held them back. Like, yo, if I was playing with somebody else, I'd have averaged that. Yeah, all right, man.
Youngin was alright. Youngin got busy out there.
You can't tell that boy, you know what I mean? But
Youngin pick you up in the parking lot. What'd you say? What'd you say to me?
Yeah,
he
got
in Vegas. I seen them.
Yeah,
I seen them down 13 one time. I'm sitting underneath the basket. And I'm like, yo, I need to turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. Pop said, yo, OG, I got you. Watch this. Next play down, boy threw a half-court lob to Joe Griffin. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Went on like an 18-0 run, ended up winning the game. So now my next story, Joe Griffin, the older one. I remember in Vegas, I said, yo, I heard you was like the top wide receiver where we from. He's like, yeah, OG, I am. I'm looking with my eyes wide open, like, yo, golly. And I don't drop nothing. I said, golly, and you don't drop nothing? Yo, the boys said, I don't drop nothing.
Yeah,
You throw it this way, I'm catching it.
They tough.
I said, wow, that's crazy, Joe.
That type of confidence, man.
They tough, man. It's a lot of good talent came out of the city, and I think a lot of guys got, probably left out of that situation because, at the end of the day, you gotta have people that's gonna advocate for you and push you. Everybody, say what you want about Central. Kids is going to school.
That's a fact.
Right? Kids is going to school. That's it. So you can say what you want about the program, about the building, about me, about anybody else. But when I put that paperwork down on the table and I tell you, look at all the kids that went to college in the last 10 years,
Can't say nothing.
you be hard pressed if you combine every other school in the city to match it. You know what I mean? And that's what it is, and that's the facts. And that's what we standing on. That's what we most proud about, and that's what it's going to continue to happen. And it ain't, believe me when I tell you, it ain't about me. It's about, because the whole coaching staff is like that. You talked about Juice. Somebody said, about Juice. Juice, I was at UMass today to watch the practice. Juice there. Now I'm there. My son is there. I got Joe there. I got, play whatever. Juice there, watching the DBs, learning more about, coaching DBs. I didn't know he was going. He doing that on his off time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Brower he was coaching. College for a few years. He back, but these dudes have so much knowledge and they're workers. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, I feel like we are outworking people because it means something to us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a crazy long window. I'm not gonna be coaching for another 20, 25 years. But I'm trying to like put things in a position as best I can for whoever, walks through the door next, and for a whole wave. I want all these young guys to come back and give back in some way. Like, these dudes got information. These young guys that we sent Division I, they know more about sports than I do now. You know what I'm saying? They just got to kind of get everything together in their head. But these dudes these dudes are smart as hell. And the same thing with the basketball, community. Like, a lot of guys is going to college. A lot of guys is doing some good things. They come back, train our kids, come back, coach our kids. You know what I mean? Put them in better position than you was in. You know what I'm saying? And that's when same thing you do with your kids. You got a kid, you want to put your kid in a better position in a better situation than you was in, right? That's what we want to do with the community, so that when I leave, you want the next group to be like, damn, I wish we had that.
Right.
When you hear the old heads saying that, yo, I wish we had that when we was young, then you know things is moving in the right direction. So
Awesome. So, one final question. This is one I think it's very important for a lot of people to wonder, because I know we all wonder, now that you've coach of the year football, coach of the year basketball, state championships, Super Bowls, your son is an all-world athlete. What still?
Don't forget about the baby girl too.
Oh yeah. You just have every aspect of sports seems like it's took a check. What is it, or what's going on in the brain or in the heart that keeps you waking up every day saying, I'm still going to coach, I'm still going to give to these kids, even though you've already given so much and attributed so much to people's lives, changed lives? What's making you continue to change lives?
more people coming through. You know what I mean? Like, there's more kids coming through, and like, let's say your son is coming up, and I'm like, damn, AD, my guy. You know what I mean? I want to make sure his son get right. And although I believe in everybody else around me, it's like I want to be there and make sure. You know what I'm saying? I want to be there, and so all these, you keep finding reasons, and different things motivate you, but you keep finding reasons to stay. You know what I'm saying? And I am. Listen, I'm getting old, man. I be going to bed. I be 100% healthy. Think I have a dream. Me making plays, playing sports. I wake up, my knee swollen. You know what I'm saying? I'm limping through the house to go to the bathroom. So I'm the definition of washed. But I love coaching. You know what I mean? I love competing. I like making a difference and reaching kids, and helping them get to that next phase in their life. And then I like them coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy when I'm at work and kids is on college vacation, and they all come back and they all in the weight room. It's like 35 kids, you know what I mean, lifting from the college, coming back working out, and they stop in the room, and then we start talking about old times. Like, I enjoy those things, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the biggest thing, man. I want to leave behind something that can't miss. You know what I mean? I felt like we was close in football. I think things are starting to kind of break apart a little, but we're going to try to put that back together from a football standpoint. And then I would like to be a part of something where we get that rolling in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Am I going to be able to be at the forefront of that? Probably not. But, let's say you at the forefront, and I'm coming to the games, and, I get to, hey, after the game, your team look good. You know what I mean? I see you was running that diamond. Somebody got to get to the middle. You know what I mean? Like, I just to have the communication with you and then walk off into the like, those things mean something. I want to see the next generation come up, and I want to see y'all take things. I want to see y'all take it to the next level as well. But in order for that to happen, man, people got to come together, and I don't see that happening right now. You know what I mean? I see, like I said, I see a block. We're not letting the right, in my opinion, letting the right people ascend to the forefront. And we need those guys in position. We need people that care about kids, that really want to see. Who's somebody that I see like that, and he in a tough situation, is Springer. You know what I mean? I like Springer. You know what I mean? I like Springer as a coach, as a young man. And the crazy thing about Springer is, I thought I had him in high school. He was supposed to play. He was supposed to play for me. And we had this principal come in. He ain't know nothing about sports. And long story short, you know how tow cars be on it. I'm at Putnam at the time. The tow cars come in and take Tyrell Springer right from up under us, man. Moving to Central, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? But long story short, Springer went to the Central and got busy, so he never even got a chance. And listen to me, Springer was nice in football. My God, man, that boy got busy in football. He was about to play football for. When he went to Central, he was like, yo, I'm just gonna play basketball for me. He was at Putnam. He was about to get busy for us, right? They took him out of there before the season started, and whatever happened. But I watch his energy I watch what he doing at Commerce, and I'm like,
I'm
but
there.
not just that. I see him in the off season. I see him volunteering for everything.
Trying to put stuff together.
That's the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need. Those are the people that
Shout out
you
to
don't
my
need
guy,
the
man.
assistance, but he in a tough spot. You know what I mean? Commerce, we all know what Commerce was back in the day. That building is small now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. It's tough. And then my two, like I said, my two young guys, they doing a lot in the community. They got the gym. Jordan and Bynum work at the gym. Higher expectations. They doing a lot of things there.
Yes, sir.
Eric Newkirk is a dude. You know, he got his stuff together. Organized. Everything I see him put his hands on, you know, it flourishes. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like he got the Newkirk League. That's a nice little league he got going. You know,
that
those I
little
went to the
draft,
games.
yeah.
Nice atmosphere. Energy is right. It's organized. So it's a wave of younger guys that, you know, we should be finding how they're going to help, and I hope that those guys can get on the same page. Even if you ain't got to like somebody to work with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the misconception that we ain't got to like each other to work with each other.
Had the same
We
goal.
about kids.
Same goals.
I'm a man, so I'm not gonna be talking about you behind your back. You know what I mean? That's weirdo energy. Like I could dislike you as a person for whatever reason, but we gonna work together and we gonna make it happen. Everybody that I work with, I don't like. There's not people that I would hang out with. You know what I'm saying? Or associate with in the world, but I can work with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I hope y'all dudes do, because y'all got the energy that's needed. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got it here too. And you know, we'll see what happens. But that's all. I'm just trying to help get that organized, and then, you know, when I get older, I just want to come enjoy good games, man.
Yes, sir.
We do appreciate you for pulling up. We do got, you know.
Yeah, I liked it, man.
for
I
you,
enjoyed
man.
it. What size is that? What size is that?
Your next time coming through here, we're gonna need your top 10 in basketball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We didn't want to do you two unless you got a quick five.
Nah, I ain't got nothing quick,
Nah,
man. 'Cause I know I left.
Hey, part two, all the hoopers.
Yo, I promise you, I left
got a
people
part two
out in
coming.
football.
On that
I know
football,
I
yeah.
left. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna hit me up like, yo, how you? I'm like, damn, how I forget that dude.
Trust me.
Hey, that's a part of
Whenever we
certified
whenever
dog
we ask that
experience.
question or answer that question, it's hard. Trust me.
Yeah,
But
edit
once
the film.
again, we appreciate you, sir, Mr. Golden Eagle himself. Here at the Certified Dogcast, we have to give flowers while you can smell them.
Yes, sir.
So here we have for you today.
Get this
another,
here.
You know what I'm saying? Certified Dog
I'm gonna have that.
award. It look like I think that's your size.
Yeah, dude.
It looks like your size.
Yeah, that gotta
That's-
be me. That's a
Yeah,
2X.
you got
That's
that to
good.
go with it. That's
You
shoes
got
to
some
go with
flavor to
that.
go with it. There
Yes,
you go.
sir.
Okay.
There
All
you
right.
go, right there.
Yeah, I appreciate
Nice
that,
little
man.
outfit.
Yes, sir, man.
And I appreciate I appreciate you guys, and I'm happy to see what y'all are doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
Appreciate it.
the effort y'all putting forth and what y'all trying to get done is good and it's needed. You know what I'm saying? And those are the things that I wish the stories I want to hear about. And that's why when you hit me in there, it was like, I'm like, oh hell yeah, anything you doing, I'm gonna come support. But y'all doing a great thing, and I think it's gonna be great. And I hope everybody get behind y'all, support it, and it go places that y'all didn't even see it going, because we need things like this. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people that's talented in the city, and if we can get behind each other and support each other, you know what I mean, it's gonna be great. So y'all doing a good job, man. Then I came in here and seen all the work that y'all doing, and I thought it was, you know what I mean, could be a camera over there. Y'all do, you know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all for what y'all doing and what y'all mean to the community, and keep doing what y'all doing.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
For
it.
sure.
You as well, Coach.
And on that, we would ask you, you got any shout outs before we close it out real quick?
Yes,
Got
sir.
any shout outs? Anybody you want to shout out there?
I shout out the family. You know what I mean? Like, shout out my wife,
That's
Stace.
Mom Stacy. Yes, sir.
Yes, Auntie.
Shout out, my children, and everybody that support, sports, athletics in the city. It's Central, but everybody else, that's supporting these young guys, and helping, get people further along in life and put them in position to succeed. So that's about everybody.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
On
it,
that,
for sure,
give a round
man.
of applause to Coach
Yes,
Ed,
sir.
Mr. Golden Eagle himself. Round the horn real quick. Team, anybody shout outs? Anybody want to give real quick?
You already know, man. Shout out to my lady, my wife, Kendra, and the babies. Jalen, I love you, boy. Kyrie, I love you, dog. JoJo, baby Cal, what it do?
Nate.
Shout out everybody watching, man. You know, I'm looking at the chat. We had some good viewers today, man. Just shout out everybody tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all.
Bob.
Shout out, Coach, for coming up. Shout out my family. Shout out all the fresh. Shout out the viewers.
Yo, Mr. Malone.
Shout out to the fam. Shout out God. Thank you. Shout out everybody in the chat.
Absolutely. Without God, nothing is possible.
For sure.
We appreciate you, sir, once again. Certified Dogcast. Shout out to the family and everybody supporting us.
And shout out my other son too, Sean, man. What's up, boy?
We will be at an event near you. Call us. We are all we got. We are here to support everybody.
Hubbard Park coming up.
Everything.
Hubbard Park
Certified
coming up.
dog.
Yes, sir.
NDL coming up. We
Yes, sir.
outside.
For us, by us, FUBU style. Call us. We will come and we will support to the fullest.
Fact.
All right? 413. And on that, we're closing out. Certified Dogcast. We out.
Love y'all. 413.